Hey everyone, it's me, Tokyo Joe here, coming at you live almost live from Tokyo Midtown, Tokyo Town, land of Japan. Well friends, did you hear the news? In Japan, a famous woman blogger has told men, if you're gonna catch the train, don't worry about coming on a date, don't bother. Because I ain't gonna date a man who catches the train. Can you believe it? That's right. This happened recently, and it's big news over here in Tokyo Town. Basically, this lady is a famous blogger. I'll give you the link below. I want to talk about this because a lot of you ESL teachers catch a train all day. You got no money to buy a car and worry about all that stuff parking in Tokyo Town, right? So what I'd like to know from you is, why are the women in this country so obsessed with men with money? Well, it's the same everywhere, let me tell you. Tokyo Joe's been married 4 times. I understand, 5 actually, almost. I understand what it's like to be married. And the mentality of women, they all think they're princesses. And they all think that they're special. And let's face it, they are. They got special little snowflakes there down under. And they're all different. They all look different. They all smell and taste different. And, a lot of them think they're special and they wouldn't touch a guy who caught the train. Well, I think this is the wrong way to go about it, but that's just who they are. And, there ain't a lot you can do about it. But here are some tips and tricks for dating Japanese women, which I'll give you. Please check out my other video, How to Get a Japanese Girlfriend. But for those of you who want to date Japanese women and take them out of the dating pool away from Japanese men, good luck to you. And I'll tell you, this is going to happen on the internet. Just imagine what's going to happen in real life, friends. Well, the website is Rocket News 24, and I've got the link there for you. And if you can read Japanese, you'll understand the article. Basically, the author is kind of anonymous. She claims to be some kind of social butterfly, knows all about women's stuff. And a lot of people in Japan thought it was kind of shocking, but to translate the column, it's kind of written by a Japanese version of the Sex and the City character, Carrie Bradshaw, played by the horse-faced actress, whatever her name is. But basically she says, you guys out there who think it's acceptable to use the trains on a date, you have no business dating women at all. She says basically, in fact, it's utterly ridiculous for all you to think you have the right to even long for a woman. And she says, I hope you have the decency to stay single your whole lives. And in case you're wondering, it's not just me, it's most girls. They're just too nice to say it to you. And they say that we're not going to date a man who takes a train because we know it's a turnoff. It's like, basically, it ruins the mood. It's not romantic. It's practically a kind of abuse and violence. And idiotic men out there don't realize this. They're only interested in relieving their sexual tensions and needs. I guess that's a lot of you ESL teachers out there in the ass into Saitama. It gets pretty tough out there. And basically, she says, guys going on dates basically have one goal in their head. That's to get into bed, get to the lady parts, and get busy with their lady parts. And basically, it's interesting because I have to say, this is a common thought of women the world over. I just don't think it's in Japan. But I will say something. She does say further down in her article that, basically you're talking about a 210 yen ticket. That's about $2.50. Well, actually, that's a lot of money for a lot of the ESL folks out there. That's probably a good, 20, 30 minutes work there. And I hope she's a lot nicer to the ESL folks, because I think it's pretty rough for her to say that. What she says is, so guys, if you're interested in a date, basically to get a taxi or use your own car. Don't worry about taking the train. And she actually says if it's not good enough for you, go out and milk some cows in the country. And she says, quote, you can go fuck the cow's teats to your heart's content. Just leave us alone. We all thank you for not pissing us off any further. Can you believe that? Well, for those of you thinking about marrying a J-girl, you got to be prepared for this. Okay, you got to think when you're coming over to Tokyo Town, what you're going to do to make money. Because let's face it, friends, a lot of you are going to be unhappy unless you are getting to play with some lady parts, and you're going to be unhappy unless you're making some money, and they don't, well, they don't always be mutually exclusive. So I think you got to do both. And frankly, I think if you're interested in marrying a J woman, maybe pick very carefully and choose very carefully. And if you got any questions about that, just post your questions below, because I got a lot of experience with this, I can tell you. And she says something like, in her column, something like, basically, if we want to have children with you, we're more than ready to get the semen from the penises of good-looking men out there. And then when we have that taken care of, all we need is money and social status. So basically, what I would say is, what I've said in my other podcasts. If you're thinking of coming over to Japan, do what I did many decades ago, but I think today it's even better. Because what you got to do is have status, right? Girls are interested in dating three types of guys: doctors, lawyers, and airline pilots / astronauts. Anyone else, if you're a train driver or a big ship captain, or if you're a plumber or a dentist, it's just not quite the same as being a doctor, lawyer, or an airline pilot. Dentists are okay, I guess. It's very tough over there. If you, over here, if you're an ESL teacher, and around town if you're an ESL teacher, and over there at home, I guess it's tough for you as well, because basically no one cares about you. You ain't worth a duck's part if you're just an ESL teacher. So what I'd suggest you do is get a career, work hard at it, 10 years, then come to Japan, have a lot of fun with the lady friends, and you'll have a lot more time on your hands, a lot more money in your pocket. You have a lot of fun. But I'd like to know from you, those of you men over here dating the J ladies, what do you think of this article? I'll post a link here. You can read it. And if you'd like, you can go to Google Translate and translate it. That's probably the best way to look at it. But personally, there's a lot of Japanese women and women around the world who are materialistic, and basically the men are just a wallet and sometimes a penis. And basically that's the same everywhere, but I think it applies more in a big city like Tokyo Town than it would, say, out in the ass end of Saitama or in Fukuoka or somewhere like that. But basically the reaction has not been good to this. And I think there's a lot of lonely J ladies around. They're looking for the prince and they're not finding him, all because they think like this. What do you think, friends? Okay, well, tell your ma, tell your pa, tell your pet gator about the article. I'd like to know your feedbacks. Got any questions, just ask below. And remember, subscribe, rate, comment, give me a thumbs up, and tell your friends about it. And I'd like to hear your comments. And remember, friends, unlike any other channel, I do not censor no comments. I do not ban or stop people, block people from making comments on my channel. So comment away. Okay, friends, bye for now. Peace and love from Tokyo Joe.